Hi, this is Andy Lipton, and welcome to Leading the Break. Today's segment is part of our series called Around the World in America. Our guest today is Teresa Seppala, a student and basketball player at Siena College in upstate New York. Siena is part of the MAAC conference. Teresa hails from Finland, and today Teresa will tell us about life in Finland.
Basket by number 7, Teresa Seppala. Good shot at 60.
5 seconds left.
Two shots for number 7, Teresa Seppala.
Thank you for doing this. And, tell us what Finland's all about. What's it like?
All right. Well, Finland, like, especially now that I don't like live there anymore, the things that I miss the most are probably like the nature and just, yeah, the nature and food in a way, because I really feel like we have a little bit more like nature-based culture, and the food is maybe a little bit more natural. Like, I think here in the USA it's more like processed foods and stuff. So like back home, like I'm like almost automatically just eating like whole food diet. It's just like what we do. Like we barely eat any like processed food. So that really makes me like feel good and like healthy. And also Finland as a country is, we are, I would say, like humble people, and also we are not as like goal or achievement orientated there. We're more like well-being first, I would say, in a way. So it's a little bit more peaceful. The people are a little bit more like down to earth in a way. So yeah, but like honestly, the nature, the lakes, it's Finland is called the country of thousand lakes. Like literally from my home I can walk to like three different lakes just to go for a little swim in the summer. So a lot of forests. It's just like so peaceful, and even in like in the middle of a city, you still have like some sort of like nature, whether it's like some sort of river or some sort of like forest area, like not in the middle of the city, but there's still so many like elements of like nature. So it makes me feel really like clean in a way to be like surrounded by like the nature kind of like all the time, you know.
So now you said it's not your home anymore. Is that because you're in college upstate New York, or
Yeah,
I mean, but your parents still live
yeah,
there?
yes,
Okay.
yes, my parents still live there. It's just because I spent most of my time right now here in college, so it's like the new norm for me, since I'm only home for like 3 months in the summer, but then like 8 9 months in the States. So it's kind of like right now this is home too, you
I
know.
hear you. So you say you talked about like eating naturally. What does that mean? Like, can you go into some detail about that?
Mm, okay. Well, I feel like here it's so common that people eat like cereal for breakfast, cereal that's filled with like all kinds of like sweeteners and like just stuff that it's like not very like natural, but like a typical breakfast at home would be like oatmeal with some berries and some yogurt, or then like we have a more diverse variety of bread, and we have this thing called rye bread, which is like brown, and it's not the same at all that it's in here, but like we have bread for breakfast, and we'll put a little bit of like butter and a little bit of like ham or turkey and like cucumber slices. So I guess it's more of like a lunch here. You could have like sandwiches, but like back home that's also like a breakfast food, and then I would say we just eat way more like fresh vegetables, whether it's like cucumber, tomatoes, or pepper, like just lettuce, carrots. Yeah, so I think we just eat more from like the nature and less processed foods, whether it's like those cereals or like some protein bars or like any type of shakes. I think it's more like less processed and more just natural.
Now, you talked about sort of the environment. I think there's over 100,000 lakes in Finland, right? Um, but from what I've read, it seems like a very environmentally friendly country. Um,
Yes.
that the country t takes care not to pollute itself. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Finland has definitely like taken like a position in European Union and in the world in general that it wants to set a good example for the whole world. Like obviously we are a very small country, so our contribution is not really gonna change the course of the world, but like we're hoping that by handling our business well, taking care of environment, that sets like a example. And I feel like right now there is like a stereotype that Nordic countries like take care of those things very, very well, and that is true. Like it's really important for us. We really like value our forests, our nature. Like it's just like a core value like for like Finnish people in general.
Gotcha. Now, I also read that Finland's like one of the happiest countries in the world. It's like the least corrupt, one of the least corrupt countries in the world. Talk about that culture.
Okay. I think Finnish people are very like, what is the word? Like they have like the right morals. We're like humble. We're like we want to like create good things together, like we just that's just true. Like we don't have like corruption. Like I never heard of like corruption in Finland. It just like we just like follow the law. Like obviously we have criminals too, but like not in like the same way. Like the people that are police that work in like our like authorities, like they're not like corrupted at all. It's like you're gonna get paid, you're not gonna get handled any like business like under the table, like everything is very like, like what is the
Above board. Everything's above board.
exactly. So yeah, I think it just kind of like who we are as people. I don't think we are that greedy either, we're more like down to earth. And wait, is was there something else I was supposed to add? Oh, the happiest people. And that, yeah. And also we it's been our one of like most important values to be able to provide education and health care for like free. You don't have to pay for college. Actually, like here in the States, you have to pay like it can be anything from like $50,000 to like $100,000. In Finland, like tuition is free for Finnish people. And for yeah, so we don't have to pay for high school, for any school. Like it's all like free, which is a huge benefit. And it means that it doesn't create like generational like cycles of not affording to go to college. Like the world is open for you in Finland. Like you can become anything you want, and like there's not going to be like those same barriers that are in here. So I think that's a big benefit. And also the healthcare part, like it's for everybody. It's just not for the people who can afford it. So I think we have better rates in like taking care of the people, and I think those factors really contribute on like why we're like the happiest people on earth.
So it's a social welfare state, right? So I guess it's free college, free healthcare.
Yes.
I'm assuming there's some safety nets for people who are out of work and stuff to kind of
Yes.
support them. Um, and but I imagine the taxes are probably high to kind of pay for those things, right?
Yes, they are definitely. Yes, we have progressive taxing. And yeah, the thing about Finland, like you can't really get rich with like the work you do, because you pay if you get like um however much, like the more you earn, the more you pay taxes. So it's obviously for the richest people it's a little bit annoying, but that's the price you pay to like live in a country that's like safe and like happy. And overall, like I think those like benefits kind of like pay themselves back because you don't have to like save for like your kids' school, So
Okay, so let's talk about your upbringing a little bit. Um, Forgive me if I don't pronounce the name right, but you grew up in Tampere.
yes, Tampere, yeah, that's like the area that I grew up in. Yes, that or
That's
the
like, from what I read, that's like the third largest city in Finland, but the population is probably what, under 300,000 people.
yes.
So what's it like living there, growing up there? Do you know everybody in your town? Um, are people very friendly? They keep to themselves. How would you describe that?
Um, so to be like exact, so Tampere is the big city that I always say I grew up in because people know it better than the city that I actually grew up in. But like 10 minutes below, is another like town that's called Lempäälä. And that's actually where I grew up. And I grew up in like a very like suburban area. Um, people are like in general nice. It's very safe. Like it's just very kid friendly, good good I had like a good school, basic. Everything was just very like calm, peaceful, not a lot of like anything. It was very close to like the city center, like 10 minutes with a car or 15 minutes. So still like close to like Tampere and like yeah, 300,000 people like it's not a lot when you compare how it is here. I'm not sure how many people like there's in Albany, like,
Okay. I
but
don't know. I mean, in New York City, there's about 8 million people.
it's nothing compared to that like, center. Like,
I mean,
yeah,
do you know everybody in your, like if you went to the local supermarket, would you know everybody there, or do people kind of keep to themselves?
not at all. Only if I went to the local market that is from where I actually like live, like 1 mile away from where I live, I would probably run into one person that I know. Either it's like somebody that I know, like they're like mom or brother or like a former teacher. Like the area that I actually live in is pretty like compact and small, so I would probably run into somebody I know, but not always. And the more closer I go to the city, like then I don't like it's still
Gotcha.
like kind of a lot of people. So I definitely don't know the most people and like I don't know everybody, but yeah.
Gotcha. And before we get to basketball and sports, so I read that most people speak Finnish, right? That's the main language, but it's compulsory to learn English, I guess, starting in elementary school.
Yeah, we study English. Like everybody has to study English also, like elementary school. But actually, also Swedish is like the second, like official language here. But like it's not. You have to take couple classes in like, I think it was in like middle school and high school, and maybe even university. But like there's only like couple towns or cities like northern and western Finland that are closer to Sweden, and they like actually speak Swedish there, but like barely. I don't use Swedish ever in Finland, but yeah, and English is everybody knows how to speak English because everybody had to learn it, but yeah, everybody still like speaks like Finnish in the country, you know.
Gotcha. So it's not like outside of the classroom, you're talking to your friends and parents in English, right?
No, no, we only communicate in Finnish. The difference is if you go to like a town or a city that it's kind of like a lot of immigrants, for example, or like some cafes in like urban areas might be employing like immigrants, so then you would have to speak English there. But mostly like 95% of the time, like you speak Finnish to like everybody.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about basketball. How'd you get interested in basketball? I imagine that's not the most popular sport in Finland. I would imagine ice hockey, and I guess that there's a game that's comparable to baseballs.
Yes.
So talk about how you got interested and when you got interested in basketball.
So I've been always like very active and sporty kid. Like I did like dancing and gymnastics, and at some point I did like volleyball, I did soccer, I did track and field. I've done so many different like sports, and at one point I started basketball when I was 7, and my mom had previously played basketball, but she never like took me to basketball. It was like from my own will. I was like, Mom, I want to try basketball. And then I tried it when I was 7 years old, and I just like had so much fun the first day, and I was just like, oh my God, Mom, I love this. And then I started playing it. I played in like a kind of like a recreational. I mean, it was a YMCA of like the city, so it was
Okay.
super super competitive because we had another club that has also like pro team, like pro team, and under the same club there's like junior, like,
Gotcha. Yeah.
so I switched to like the bigger club after my first year playing that like YMCA team. And then just from there it's just been like progression, becoming more competitive and like getting better at it. Yeah, I just basically wanted to try basketball, and then I just like fell in love with it basically.
So is basketball a big sport in Finland?
Um, it's growing actually. I think there's like a trend that is growing. It's not the biggest, because like ice hockey and soccer is probably the most popular, or ice hockey, but it's like coming, like it's going there, and it's definitely you can play pretty competitive basketball in Finland, and it's like I would say like big enough to like actually get better and like yeah.
And you've made some, I guess, Finnish national teams, right?
Yeah. I've been like, also the national team has like under 14, under 16, under 18. Like I've taken all those steps, and right now, like 2 years ago, it was my first time with the senior national team.
Nice. So what made you want to come to America?
I felt that it was like the next right thing for me to do on my kind of like career. Like it's just something we talk about when you reach a certain age and you think about like, oh, what I want to do with basketball next. So I just thought that I would develop and I would experience the American culture, and I just wanted to like experience it. And like yeah, it's just something we like talk about that is like possibility, and I felt like yeah, I want to do it. So then I just tried to work for it, and yeah.
So you're a junior now, so you've been, I guess, in the States 3 years.
Yeah.
What adjustments did you have to make when you came here?
um the culture, first of all, like I said earlier, I think Finnish people are more like chill. Well, and here it's like the grind culture, and you're really like hustling all the time. So it was more, um, that was like the first thing. I really had to adapt to like the coaches, and especially um, in Siena, I think they're super competitive. They're so passionate, like and so like detailed. So it was like the first thing to like adapt was the basketball. And obviously like there's a little bit different rules. Like European FIBA basketball is more physical, you can use your hands more, there's less falls. But in here it's like you have to be super technical about like what angle your body is, what angle your hands are, it's super technical. So those two, and then obviously like the small talk culture, that oh my God, I love you, but in Finland people don't talk about like their emotions like that. um and what else, and then the food, obviously like food being more like fried foods, processed foods. So I think those like three things.
Uh, Um, how about the language? Was the language an issue for you?
It was never an issue for me, but at the beginning I struggled a little bit like producing, because I never had to like only speak English. So I was like struggling sometimes a little bit, and sometimes it was hard to like hear what people were saying, because I wasn't used to like it was just a lot, like the big adjustment, but it was never an issue. I was always able to communicate, and like I was always able to understand, and also like being understood.
And so how about in classes? Was it easy to adapt to the language in classes?
Um, yes, it was for the most part, but I also, when I came here, I wanted to do biochemistry as my major, because that's kind of what I was doing back home. But I soon realized that first of all, I don't have enough time to do like STEM major here with basketball, and secondly, like especially my freshman year, my first semester, like the chemistry class just went so difficult and I heard so many new words. I was not able to like my brain was not ready to process all that. So it definitely like was difficult. But when it's like history classes or like whatever else classes like psychology classes or because right now I'm psychology major and I haven't had any issues with that. But other like subjects, school subjects, like they haven't been like hard. Yeah.
Right. So, what are some of your career goals, when you graduate?
Well, I wanna play basketball professionally. So that's like my next goal after I graduate. And then I'm studying psychology right now. So and when I go back to Finland, like I'm probably gonna want to try to get into like university again to finish like master's degree in psychology. And I could see myself working as like a sports psychologist or like kind of like provide those like services like counseling for athletes and I don't know something like that. I'm really into like psychology, so yeah. But like first, I just want to play basketball and see how far I can go, and like I'm gonna play in like Europe somewhere. Not in Finland right away.
Okay,
I can always play back in Finland too, but I want to experience like European leagues.
gotcha. So, when your playing days are over, let's say, will you go back to Finland and make that your home again?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, Finland is and will always be my home. Like I already planned it that I want to go back there because my family's there. So one day I'm gonna settle down there.
Gotcha. Um, so let me ask you this, in terms of culturally, what do you think when you go back home, let's say for vacation or intercessions, when you go back home, what do you bring from the United States to Finland, you think? Like, what kind of cultural things do you bring to them?
Yeah, definitely. Like the kind of like the grind hustle culture has like bit me because really can see myself kind of like trying to be able to do better and be more competitive and like I definitely see myself like trying to get more out of like whether it's my friends or family whether I would like whatever I would do in Finland. I just could see myself like trying to like challenge them and make them better and just yeah, because I think that's my biggest like takeaway being here at Siena with the coaching staff. They just literally want to make everyone better person each day, like 1% better every day. So I think that like be more like having that like achievement oriented mindset or getting better. I think that is something that I'm gonna like bring.
How do you think that'll be received?
I think some people will be like, huh, like chill, like don't like but some people probably will be like inspired too. And like also what I've learned is like, oh my gosh, the practice we sometimes having, whether it's like conditioning, like I literally feel like I can go through anything because I've been through like the D1 basketball practices, especially summer session conditioning, like those things literally make me feel like I can like go through anything else in life.
Oh, nice. And what do you think you've brought to your classmates, your coaches, your teammates from Finland? What do you think you've kind of inculcated in them from Finland?
Well, one thing on my mind is one of my teammates just told me like, "Oh, you're like inspired me to like eat healthier," like because they see how I form my plates whenever we go to like eat in school, like saga is our dining hall. How I plate it, like they're like, "Damn, like you eat so healthy." Like I've inspired them to like be more mindful about what they eat and how it's gonna affect like their performance and stuff like that. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think I waited too many years for that, but I'm still trying. Uh, so one thing we didn't talk about was the weather. So obviously you live in the southern part of the country. What about 120 miles from Helsinki, the capital, which is
Yeah.
the southernmost part of the country. Um, so up north, obviously, it gets very, very cold, right?
Yeah.
Um, but the climate where you are is kind of moderate? I mean, you do have summers and you do have the four seasons. Do you want to
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So I would really so you're based in like New York City, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Albany and New York City are very similar in weather, I would say. But like um Finland, especially where I live, it's very similar to here in Albany, like having four seasons, having snow in the winter. Um Only difference is that I think it gets a little I mean the winter like is a bit longer. Like it starts earlier
Right.
in the fall and it lasts a little bit longer in the spring, but like it's very similar. And then same with summer. I feel like there's more like really hot days here in the summer, and back home it's more like mild, but it still gets hot and sometimes it's like burning hot in Finland too. But like it's like the same seasons, but a little bit colder version, like just a little colder.
Gotcha. Do you ever get up all the way north in Finland and experience
Yes.
the long days in the summer, I guess? And
Yeah. Yeah.
what's and the winters it's extremely cold, right?
Mm. So
Can you talk about that? Can you describe
yeah,
what that's like?
yeah. So when I was I mean, I don't remember when, but like sometimes when I still live back home, we used to go up in the northern Finland. It's called Lapland, and we spend like the Christmas there or something. You know, all we were there for a week, and we just went like cross country skiing or like downhill skiing. You know, and I love it. Like the weather, it gets cold, especially when you're like sliding down skiing. It's very cold on your face, you know, the wind. But I don't know, it's not that much colder. I would say that it's like the similar thing. Like they still have four seasons. They still have like hot days
Yeah.
in the summer. So it's not all just like um cold, but it's with the same thing how I compare like Albany and where I come from, that it just stays longer. Like winter comes even earlier there, it stays even longer there, and summer is like shorter. But obviously because we're so up north, like they're really like during summer the sun doesn't set down at all. It's same thing where I live. Like during summer it doesn't really get dark for a couple days. Like it's like yeah, it's like you can still see like a little bit of like colors in the sky. Is very interesting how. And then in the winter it's like dark all the time. Gets up like at 9 a.m. but then goes down at like 3 p.m.
Really? Wow.
This
Wow.
the day is so short during winter, but like during summer it's so bright. Like the sun doesn't even like set basically. So yeah.
That must be pretty cool to have those long days, huh?
It is, yeah, it is. It's very it's yeah, reminds me of home and like yeah. Yeah.
So last thing, so I was reading, on your bio that one of your favorite places is Miami and that you'd like to visit Hawaii. So I guess warm climates really are attractive to you, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's I guess it's because I never really experienced that much. Last year during spring break, I was able to go to Miami, and I was like, wow, that's really nice. It was very hot, so I don't know. I don't think I would actually like to live there because I really like to enjoy like for seasons. But when it comes to like just traveling or seeing the world, like that's definitely something I like. And also Hawaii is so special with like whether it's like the animals or the plants, the environment is very like unique. So I would definitely want to like see that out also. And also it's warm, so it's nice.
Right. right. Um, so anything else? Anything else we should talk about?
Um, I feel like I think I've covered pretty much everything from like food to nature to like culture. Yeah, I feel like I've said pretty much everything about Finland that I could say.
How about music? How's the music different?
Well, I think it's not that different, as especially the music I listen to. Like, I don't even know any type of like actually Finnish music that would be like ethnic. You know what I mean? I think it's mostly just following the trends, like Finnish pop music or rap music. It just like rap like in every other country, pop
Okay,
like country, and that's mostly if I listen to Finnish music, like it just the rap or pop. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, well, listen, thanks so much for doing this. That was really nice. Good luck the rest of the way. I know you guys are doing really nicely this year,
Thank
and I'm sure it's been a lot of fun for you, I imagine.
you. Definitely, yes, it has.
All right, take care.
Take care. Thank you.